Let's look at the factors you need to consider when buying a residential stand in Harare. The first aspect to consider when you want to buy a stand is its purpose. What do you want to use it for? If you are like many, you will likely need it for your own stay. However, it is also possible that you want to buy your stand to build a house for rentals or business like a creche. Understanding the purpose will help you zero in on the size, budget, and other factors to be mentioned in this video. Ideally, for a residential stand intended for a family, you want to consider a decent price and size of around 300 IQM or more. In a well-developed area with good roads, sewer, drainage, waste management, order and low pollution and crime rate. This video looks at how you can strike the best value for your money and make an informed decisions. Stay tuned to the end and make a wise decision. We have also developed a comprehensive checklist tool that covers all these factors. If you need it, comment checklist, and we will send you the link to download. Please subscribe to this channel for more informative content like this. Please don't forget to comment, like and share this video with your friends. Price and terms. One of the most important aspects that will likely spark your interest when assessing stand deals is the price and payment terms. You want to know if the price is within your budget and if the terms are flexible enough, in line with your capacity. Cheap is not always right. We all want reasonable stand prices so that we can have funds to spare for the construction. On the other hand, the price of land in an area influences the future standards of the area. Cheaper stands have proven to bring up low-standard neighborhoods because everyone can afford them, right? So look for something that is balanced between pricey and reasonable. In Harare, stands ranging above $15,000 have reasonably decent standards. We'll look more at standards later in the video, so stay tuned. Know the total price beforehand. You need to make your calculations right to figure out the total price of your stand after interest and other expenses. Some stand prices may exclude VAT, taxes, and other miscellaneous costs that you might want to learn from your agents. Know what it takes to withdraw from the contract. Things do not always go right. You want to understand the agreement of sale. You must be aware that choosing to cancel a stand purchase midway in the process is in most cases at your loss and should be avoided. Here is why. Some sellers take a hefty percentage of your payment when you want out. Some sellers may refund you in small part payments even when you have paid them in large amounts. Zimbabwe being Zimbabwe, there is also a possibility of being refunded in local currency at prevailing official rates. You want to buy a stand when you have fully considered doing so and from a seller whose refund policy you are comfortable with. Legal aspects. Is the area approved for title deeds? In Harare, title deeds for most newly developed areas are hard to come by. After buying your stand, you may have to wait for years, even decades, before you get your title deeds. A title deed is the most secure document you can stand by as proof of property ownership, even in the highest offices. It is less likely, however, possible for you to be crooked when buying from a developer who walks you through a deeds transfer process soon after full payment. The most desirable purchases for you should be in areas that are ready for title deeds. Reputation of the developer or seller. Zimbabweans have suffered from a lot of scams by dodgy land developers who take people's money and fail to deliver on their promises. Some developers have sold the same properties for a recurring number of times to unsuspecting buyers. You don't want to fall prey to a scam. Please research the reputation of the developer before making your purchase. Of late, some developers have started to maintain smaller agent teams as a measure to eliminate imposter scams. While on this, please make sure you make a number of physical visits to the developers' offices to make sure you don't give money to the wrong people. Most people these days are trusting banks like NBS, POSB, CBZ for their property purchases. There are also a few developers who have managed to gain some popularity for being safe with payments. These include Pam Golding, Leangate, Seif, Westprop, and Shelter Zimbabwe. I highly recommend you to buy from a reputable developer with a track record of delivery. Unless experienced, avoid buying stands from individuals or unknown companies. Understand the agreement of sale. Before buying a stand, It is advisable to seek the help of a legal professional to read and understand the agreement of sale in full. Agreements of sale may have clauses where developers free themselves from certain responsibilities in a vague way. Standard of development. You'd agree with me that the standard of development is one of the key factors you want to consider when buying a stand. The standard of development is usually of key influence on the price of the stand and the future value of the area. Infrastructure that stands the test of time will preserve your investment. Roads. You want to assess the width, quality, and strength of the roads. Some areas have tar, but may not last for even up to 10 years. As roads diminish in quality, the value of the properties in an area also falls. You want to be aware and evaluate if the quality of the roads is worth it, given the price of the land. Sewer. Sewer is critical to the hygiene and air quality of the area. You want to check if the developer did their homework in installing good sewer infrastructure to be safe from sewer blockages or bursts of pipes. If this is not assessed enough, you may buy into an area that will have bad air quality and frequently bursting pipes, which are a hazard to health. Sewer as an aspect affects the general value of the area. Drainage system. Drainage is a key aspect yet often ignored by first-time land buyers. When rain comes, things can get messy. Huge volumes of uncontrolled water can find their way into yards, flowing over roads and affecting the sewer system. You need to assess if the area has suitable drains to match the slope of the ground. Water. Some areas have serviced water supplied by the city council or Zinwa or from a central borehole. This is usually an added advantage. Your consideration for this should be in the short term, as most local councils fail to keep up with this provision in the long term. Most people now rely on borehole water, and you might want to find out if some people manage to drill boreholes and their depth. Electricity. Getting ZISA out of the box on your new property can be a plus. Most developments these days do not offer electricity. They, however, may help mobilize residents to contribute for electricity infrastructure on a separate and additional cost to the stand price. This usually takes years before being fulfilled. Hence, most people resorting to alternative energy solutions like solar from the onset. Cost of building. The cost of building in a given area is usually overlooked, especially by first-time homeowners. It's good to buy your stand knowing how much it will cost on average to build your dream house. Finding a few quotations with local builders can be of help. Ground profile. There is quite a trend of facing the need for special foundations for new landowners. Some areas have weaker soils and experience more rain than others, which may necessitate getting a special foundation. Special foundations are costly and usually take up twice or thrice the budget of normal foundations. Some areas may be sloppy, rocky, or may have termite mounds, which may need additional excavation work by earth-moving equipment before construction begins. It is good to have this consideration before choosing a specific stand. The location or surrounding environment. The overall density of the area. Most calm and orderly places around Harare maintain their value and remain likable. If you are like me, you would likely prefer buying land in an organized place with less noise, pollution, and a low crime rate. Some areas that are in close proximity to old high-density locations suffer from crime activities like house break-ins, smash and grabs at night, etc. These factors affect the quality of life in a certain area and have an effect on its demand and value. No one wants to stay where their property can get stolen. Standard of surrounding properties. Some areas fail to rise in value due to the standard of existing properties in the area. Rentals and house prices in a given area generally fall within the same range, and you want to assess your future property based on the area's price ceilings. Road access. Traffic congestion is becoming one of Harare's permanent problems. Certain locations become undesirable considering the headache associated with going to and from work in the CBD. Looking at Aspendale, for example, it's a good area, but a good number of homeowners couldn't cope with the daily hurdles of getting in and out of the CBD and had to sell their houses to pursue investment in other areas. This is a key decision for people considering buying land in areas like Rua and those accessible primarily by Kirkman Road and Bulawayo Road. Return on investment. After all has been said and done, you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It is a good idea to assess your likely return on investment. It's good to know the average rentals in the area and average property prices to assess whether your newly built house will maintain, grow, or lose its value. At this stage of your assessment, you also need to assess the ease and practicality of disposing of your property in the future. You might want to put yourself in the shoes of a potential buyer in the next 5 or 10 years and see if it will be worthy of purchase. Some areas come with ongoing maintenance costs. Common with gated communities, you need to be aware of what these costs are and their implication in the long run. With the above considered, you are likely going to make a comprehensive look into your decision to purchase your stand in Harare. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe for more content like this.